Some basic concepts of chemistry, part 2. We have already studied in part 1 that chemistry deals with matter and matter is made up of large number of atoms and molecules which are said to have extremely low masses and are present in very large numbers. Thus, chemists have to deal not only with large numbers of atoms and molecules but also with calculations containing large numbers. For example, let us consider Avogadro number. We know that this Avogadro number is such a big number which possesses 20 zeros after 6022. It is not only inconvenient to write such a large number but also difficult to perform various mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication or division with such a huge number. So, in order to overcome this problem, chemists started to write these large numbers in the form of scientific notation, which is also known as exponential notation. So, let us study what is this scientific notation or exponential notation. In scientific notation, any number can be represented in the form of n into 10 raised to the power n, where this superscript, that is small letter n, is nothing but it is the exponent having positive or negative values, whereas the capital letter N is the coefficient that can vary between 1 to 10. Therefore, the Avogadro number, what we saw in the previous slide, can also be expressed in the exponential form as 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23, where 23 is the exponent and 6.022 is the coefficient. We can shift the decimal point either towards the right side or towards the left side. Based on this shift in the decimal point, let us now study two different rules. Going to rule number 1. According to rule 1, if the decimal point shifts towards the right side, then the exponent is expressed as negative number. Let us take an example. Now, here we have to move the decimal point towards the right. That is, we are moving the decimal point 5 places towards the right. Okay, 5 places towards the right. Hence, we can say that the exponent is minus 5 and the coefficient is 1.250. Now here, why the exponent is negative? It is because we have shifted the decimal point towards the right. And why the exponent is 5? It is because the decimal point is shifted only 5 places towards the right. This is rule 1. Now let us go to rule 2. According to rule 2, if the decimal point shifts towards the left, then the exponent is expressed as positive. Let us take an example. Now here we have to move the decimal point towards the left side. That is, here we are moving the decimal point 2 places towards the left. Therefore, we can say that here the exponent is plus 2 and the coefficient is 2.456018. Now, why the exponent is positive? It is because we have shifted the decimal point towards the left. And why it is 2, why the exponent is 2, it is because the decimal point has shifted only 2 places towards the left. So this is all about rule 1 and rule 2. So now let us see how to perform various mathematical calculations on the numbers which are written in scientific notation. So let us now start with addition and subtraction. If we have to add or subtract any number which is expressed in scientific notation, we must first check whether the exponents of the numbers are they same or are they different. Only if the exponents are same, we can add or subtract the coefficient. So first let us study what is this addition. So going to addition of the numbers which are expressed in scientific notation. Let us take an example for addition. That is 6.65 into 10 raised to the power 4 plus 8.95 into 10 raised to the power 3. In this equation, the one exponent is 4 while the other exponent is 3, which means that they are not same. Therefore, in order to add the numbers, first we have to make the exponents same. As 6.65 is said to have the larger exponent, that is 4, we have to convert the exponent of 8.95 to match this larger exponent. Therefore, we rewrite 8.95 into 10 raised to the power 3 as 0.895 into 10 raised to the power 4, which means that in case of 8.95, the decimal point has shifted towards the left. Therefore, we are getting 0.895 into 10 raised to the power 4. After making the exponents same, we can now add both the coefficients and we can obtain the result as 7.545 into 10 raised to the power 4. This is all about addition of numbers which are expressed in scientific notation. Same rule applies for subtraction. So let us now concentrate on subtraction of numbers which are expressed in scientific notation. Let us take an example, that is 3.42 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 minus 2.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 6. Even in this equation, the exponents are not same, which means that we have to make them same. Over here, one exponent is minus 5 while the other one is minus 6. So here let us convert the exponent minus 6 to minus 5. So in order to convert the exponent, or in order to convert 10 raised to the power minus 6 to 10 raised to the power minus 5, the coefficient, that is 2.5, the decimal point over here is shifted towards the left. Therefore, we get 0.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 5. Now, after making the exponents same, we can now subtract both the coefficients and can obtain the result as 3.17 into 10 raised to the power minus 5. This is all about subtraction. So now let us see how to multiply and divide the numbers which are written in scientific notation. So going to the next topic, that is multiplication and division. In order to multiply two numbers, we first add the exponents and then multiply the coefficients. So now let us concentrate only on multiplication of numbers which are expressed in scientific notation. So let us take an example for multiplication. That is 2.4 into 10 raised to the power 3 into 5.6 into 10 raised to the power 4. So for multiplication, we have to first add the exponents and then multiply the coefficients as shown. That is, we are going to add the exponent, that is exponent 3 plus exponent 4 in case of multiplication, and then we are going to multiply the coefficients. So the final answer what is obtained, that is 13.44 into 10 raised to the power 7. This is in case of multiplication. So now let us look at the division of the numbers which are expressed in scientific notation. To divide two numbers, we have to first subtract the exponents and then divide the coefficients. So let us consider an example for division. That is 2.7 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 divided by 5.5 into 10 raised to the power 4. Here we have to first subtract the exponents and then we have to divide the coefficient. That is exponent, that is minus 3 and minus 4, that is 10 raised to the power minus 3 minus 4. We are subtracting the exponents and we are dividing the coefficients, and the final answer what is obtained is 0.4909 into 10 raised to the power minus 7. The exponent over here is minus 7. It is because minus 3 minus 4 is nothing but minus 7. This particular 0.4909 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 can also be written as 4.909 into 10 raised to the power minus 8. It is because the decimal point has been shifted towards the right. Therefore, 0.4 gets converted to 4.909 into 10 raised to the power minus 8. So this is regarding division. Going to the next topic, that is precision and accuracy. But before going to precision and accuracy, I would like to give you an example which will explain what is precision and what is accuracy. So going to the example for precision and accuracy. Let us assume that an experiment is being performed in the laboratory, and for that experiment the result which was obtained is 2.00 gram. I will consider this 2.00 gram as the true value. I will consider it as true value or the exact or the correct value. So what I will do is I will ask any 3 students from the class to perform the same experiment what was performed already, and I expect that even the students will get the same result, that is 2.00 gram itself. So student will perform the experiment, that is student A will perform the experiment 2 times, that is for 2 trial 1 and trial 2, and that person will get the value or the result as 1.95 and 1.93. Now, if we look at this particular values, that is 1.95 and 1.93, these two values are close to each other. but they are not equal to the true value. They are only close to each other. Since these two measurements, since they are close to each other, we can say that they are said to be precise, but they are not exactly matching with the true value. Now, if I take the average of the values, that is trial 1 value and trial 2 value, that is 1.95 plus 1.93 divided by 2, I will get the average or mean as 1.940. Now look at the average value and the true value. Average as well as the true value, they are not exactly matching with each other, which means that they are not accurate, whereas these two measurements, they are said to be precise, whereas the average value is not accurate with respect to the true value. This is in case of student A. Next, student B will perform the same experiment and he will obtain the result as 1.94 and 2.05. Just by looking at these two values, we can say that there is huge difference between them. So, we cannot call these two values as precise. These both values are not precise. Now, if I take the average of the student B values, I will get the average or mean as 1.995. This average, that is 1.995, is close to the true value, but it is not exactly same. Therefore, I cannot call it as accurate. So, student B values are neither precise and at the same time they are not accurate. This is with regard to student B. Next, student C performed the same experiment for the two trials and he obtained the values as 2.01 and 1.99. Just by looking at these two values, we can say that these two values are close to each other, which means that they are precise. And if I take the average or mean of this value, that is 2.01 plus 1.99 divided by 2, I will get the average as 2.000 gram. Now look at the average and the true value. Is it exactly matching with each other? Yes. If the average and the true value, if it is exactly matching with each other, then I can say that the values are said to be accurate. Therefore, what we can conclude over here? We can conclude that student A values are said to be precise, but they are not accurate. They are said to be precise, but they are not accurate. Is it clear? They are only precise. Whereas student B values are said to be neither precise nor accurate. They are not close to each other. Values are not close to each other, and at the same time the average value is not matching with the true value. Whereas student C values we can conclude as they are said to be accurate and at the same time they are precise. These two values are precise. They are closely or they are nearly equal to each other, whereas the average value is exactly matching with the true value. This is what accuracy and precision mean. Therefore, we can define precision as precision refers to closeness of various measurements for the same quantity. Closeness of various measurements for the same quantity is known as precision. Whereas what is meant by accuracy? Accuracy is nothing but it is the agreement of a particular value to its true value. Okay, accuracy means it is the agreement of a particular value to its true value is known as accuracy. This is what precision and accuracy mean. The uncertainty in the experiment or the calculated values is indicated by mentioning the number of significant figures. So the next topic is significant figures. So what are these significant figures? These are meaningful digits which are known with certainty. The uncertainty is indicated by writing the certain digits and the last uncertain digit. For example, if the measurement is reported as 14.2 ml, we can say that 14 is said to be certain and 2 is said to be uncertain. And the uncertainty would be plus or minus 1 in the last digit. So the next topic is, there are certain rules which are given in order to determine the number of significant figures. So let us look at these rules one by one. Going to the first rule, that is, all non-zero digits are said to be significant. Example for the first rule. There are two examples given, that is 532 and 9.785. Both the numbers do not possess any zeros, which means that these both numbers are said to be significant. That is, all non-zero digits are said to be significant. So the number of significant figures in 532 are nothing but 1, 2 and 3. That is 3. Whereas the number of significant figures in 9.785 are nothing but 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is what first rule tells us. Going to the second rule, zeros which are present between two non-zero digits are also said to be significant. Let us take an example. 4004 and 40.5. In both these examples, the zeros are present in between the non-zero digits. If zeros are present in between non-zero digits, then they are said to be significant. Therefore, in case of 4004, the number of significant figures are 4, whereas in case of 40.5, since the zero is present in between the non-zero digit, the number of significant figure is 3. Next, going to the third rule, that is, zeros which are present at the beginning of a number are said to be non-significant. If the zeros are present at the starting or at the beginning of a number, then they are said to be non-significant. Let us take the example. 0.00102 and 0.132. In both these numbers, there are zeros which are present at the beginning. In case of first example, there are 3 zeros which are present at the beginning. In the second example, only 1 zero is present at the beginning. So these zeros, we are not taking them into consideration. Therefore, the total number of significant figures in first example is only 3, whereas the number of significant figures in example 2 is also 3, because the zeros which are present at the beginning, they are said to be non-significant. Next, going to the fourth rule, that is, terminal zeros are not significant if there is no decimal point. So what are these terminal zeros? The zeros which are present towards the end, that is at the end, those zeros are said to be terminal zeros. Now let us take the example for terminal for the rule 4. There are two examples given, that is 1456000 and 50100. In both these example, there are zeros which are present at the end, and these zeros which are present at the end are said to be non-significant, and in both this number there is no decimal point. Therefore, the number of significant figures in example 1 is only 4, whereas in example 2 it is only 3. Zeros are present at the end and there is no decimal point, so we are not taking them into account. Going to the fifth rule, zeros to the right side of the decimal point after a non-zero digit are also said to be significant. So let us take the example. Now here the zeros are present towards the right side and after the non-zero digit. Okay, here in first example 0 is present after 2, whereas in the second example 0 is present, 2 zeros are present after 5, and there is a decimal point. So in this case, if the zeros are present towards the right side of the decimal point after the non-zero digit, then they are said to be significant. We are taking them into consideration. Therefore, the number of significant figures in 2.20 is 3, whereas the number of significant figures in 1.1500 is 5. Going to the sixth rule, terminal zeros are significant if there is a decimal point. Fourth rule will tell us terminal zeros are not significant if there is no decimal point, whereas sixth rule will tell us terminal zeros are significant if there is a decimal point. So let us take an example for the sixth rule. Now, in case of 100.0 and 1358.0, in both these numbers, there exists 0 at the end. That is, these terminal zeros are said to be significant because these zeros exist after the decimal point. So, in case of 100.0, the number of significant figures are 4, whereas in case of 1358.0, the number of significant figures are 5. Going to the last rule, that is, the numbers which are expressed in the form of scientific notation are said to be significant. Already we have studied the scientific notation are represented as n into 10 to the power n. So if any numbers, if they are expressed in this particular notation, then they are said to be significant. So let us take the example for the seventh rule. 4.01 into 10 raised to the power 2 and 8.256 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. In both numbers are expressed in the form of n into 10 to the power n. So, if any numbers, if they are expressed in this particular form, then they are said to be significant. In case of 4.01, there are 3 significant figures present, whereas in case of 8.256, the number of significant figures are 4. This is with regard to the different rules to determine the number of significant figures. Now let us see how to determine the significant figures in the results of mathematical calculations. Moving to addition and subtraction of significant figures. While adding and subtracting numbers, the result should have the same number of digits to the right side of the decimal point as the original numbers have. So let us understand what is being given over here by taking an example. So going to the example for addition and subtraction, the numbers which are given are 12.11 plus 18.0 plus 1.012. Here I am speaking about addition. So while we add all these three numbers, we get the result as 31.122. Now over here in this particular box, I will consider 12.11, 18.0 and 1.012. I will consider them as original numbers. Now look at the original number and also look which original number possesses least number of digits after the decimal point. If we look at the first original number, that is 12.11, after the decimal point there are 2 digits. In 18.0, after decimal point there is only 1 digit. In 1.012, after the decimal point there are 3 digits. So among these 3 original number, which one is said to have least number of digit after decimal point? It is nothing but 18.0. Since 18.0 possesses only 1 digit after the decimal point, the reporting answer should also possess only 1 digit after decimal point. So the reporting answer is not 31.122. Instead, it is said to be 31.1, which means that after the decimal point, even the result which has been reported possess only 1 digit. Same rule is applicable for subtraction. Now let us go to multiplication and division of the significant figures. So over here, while multiplying the numbers or while dividing the numbers, the result must be reported with same number of significant figures as there are in the measurement with few significant figures. So let us understand what is being given in this box by taking an example. So going to the example for multiplication and division, the numbers which are given here are 12.984 multiplied by 2.5. We are speaking about multiplication. So when we multiply these two numbers, we get the result as 32.46. In case of multiplication and division, once again let us take 12.984 and 2.5, these two numbers as original numbers. Now carefully look at the original numbers. In case of multiplication and division, we are not focusing on the number of digits which are present after decimal point, but here we are interested only in total number of digits which are present. In case of 12.984, the total number of significant figures are said to be 5. Do you agree? The total number of significant figures are 5. Whereas in case of 2.5, the total number of significant figures are said to be 2. In first one, the significant figures are 5, and in the second one number, that is significant figures are said to be 2. Which one is least, whether 2 or 5? Obviously 2. So since 2.5 contain only 2 significant figures, the reporting answer should also possess only 2 significant figures. So the reporting answer is not 32.46. Instead, the reporting answer is only 32. Why? Because since the original number, that is 2.5, possess only 2 significant figures, even the reporting result should possess only 2 significant figures. This is with regard to addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Same rule is applicable for division.